Settle with breath. Just be aware of the body. Really draw the mind in to the body. Also just notice the mind. Often, you know, when we come into an early practice, there is an enthusiasm, but there's also a resistance. So, you know, we work with that resistance, especially when we're trying to create the habit of practice. There is so often resistance, you know, as my German husband says, you know, most of us are, you know, what does he say? Pig dogs. We just want to kind of wander around in mud. We don't want to have to get on a mat and do a practice. So there is always that as well. There's these layers of resistance which we are working with, and it's about developing tapas from a yogic sense, the strong will. And that's hard. I think you've all got strong will, otherwise you wouldn't be doing any yoga. But it takes that. All right, support yourselves, come up and go forwards. Again, you come forwards, just have a bit of a sense of the body, the tightnesses, the resistances. Don't just come in automatically. Have a sense of where the body is resistant, it is tight this morning. And again, that sense of mind coming into the class, maybe anticipation, maybe a little bit of fear. What are we going to do? Will I be able to do it? Sometimes there's that as well. Just see if you can let go into that. You know, the ways around things in this method. And then inhale and come up. So we're going to do the invocation with Gita, and then I'll put my earphones in so you guys online can hear a bit better. So take a sheet if you're not so familiar. So when you come into swastikasana, grab the underside of your feet or the outer blades of the feet. You can see where my fingers are. Take the outer blades of the feet, roll them under so that the soles of the feet face the ceiling and bring them to the center thigh bone. So there's a real compactness about your sitting position. That's what we want to find in any kind of meditation, pranayama, chanting, is this compactness. So, you know, you all are familiar with this. It's a Gita chanting in Pune a number of years ago. It's kind of nice to do it with her. Just tap the hands on the sides, go up with your spine, feel the spine lift. And why is it nice? Because it brings this sense of lineage. You know, this is what's happening in yoga classes all over the world. And in Pune, every class. Lift the spine, send the spine. Bring the palms with the thumbs touching the bottom of the breastbone. The fingers moving slightly forwards away from the body so the shoulders can roll back. Let the groins release, let the knees release down. Soften the eyes. Release the eyelids down. Obviously, if you need to look at the sheet, you'll need to keep the eyes open. And we'll do the call and response with her. Oh. Oh. योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचा
योगे
मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनाम् पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि आबाहुपुरुषाकारम् शङ्खचक्रासिधारिणम् सहस्रशिरसं श्वेतम् प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिम् हरिः ओम् Bow down to Lord Patanjali. Release your arms down and slowly raise your head upward and open the eyes. All right, everybody, come up to standing. With this. And take a belt, please. All right. So I'm just going to mute everyone. If you want to chat to me, you will need to unmute yourself.
Vanessa, we can't hear you. Well, I can't hear you right now.
I can't.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, Robin, are you on mute? Can you mute yourself?
I can hear you.
Yeah, if you
Can
mute
you hear
yourself,
me?
yeah. But can
Yeah.
you put yourself on
No.
mute because your screen
Okay.
keeps coming up as the main one when you're not on
Oh,
mute?
okay. That's
Yeah.
not attractive. Just trying to work out how to do that now I'm in. I've lost the art.
I think you've muted yourself, but
Okay.
not us.
I don't know how to mute you guys and not mute myself. Can you mute yourselves, please? So that's the only way I can think of can do it. Can you hear me now, everyone? Yes. So that's the thing. Okay. All right. So if you can mute yourselves and then you can hear me. Yep. Everyone's good? Good. All right. Okay. Stand with your feet, with the outer edges of your feet parallel. Take the belt around the wrist bones. Just swing that tail around and extend the arms up and press the hands out against the belt. And as you do that, draw the lower front ribs down. So there's a connection there between the front and the back body. Lift from the waist to the fingertips. Try to feel that connection, waist to fingertips. And then as you press down through the feet, go up with the legs. Let the legs be really tall. And again, lift the arms a little more and press the arms out against hands, out against the belt. And a little more. Press the arms out against the belt. Don't lean back as you're doing that. So have a sense, as you take the arms back, you sort of tend to want to lean back, but the lower front ribs have to connect with the back of the body and then really lift through your side ribs to go up. It really is an action of the ribs here. And breathe. And then take the arms down. So from there, you're going to narrow your belt a lot because it's just going to go around your wrist bones. Yep. So really narrow it so you can just get the hands through. Probably even narrower than that. Those little white belts are better than this if you've got them at home. And as you take the arms up into urdhva namaskara, you're again pressing your wrist bones out against the belt, really pressing. So, if I look at this in terms of connecting it into backbends, you're trying to get the openness of the armpit chest. You're trying to get the connection of the arms to the waist, the arms to the ribs. So see if you can have a sense of that. You're turning your attention inwards. Your mind is engulfed entirely by the senses of the body. Is there a connection right down to the waist? Go up a little higher. Really shoot the fingertips up. They're like a rocket. They're shooting up. And now connect to the waist. Again, be aware whether you've sort of disembodied the front body, whether it's not connected to the back body anymore. You have to come in. There's almost a humility about not just pushing forwards with the front body, but there's a settling back. It's an entirely different sense of your practice when you can settle the front ribs back. Again, connect with the waist, with the ribs, and then take the arms down. Open the belt now to the width of the inner shoulder. So the width of the inner shoulder. Same standing position, but this time the belt is going to come just above the elbows. You'll have to see whether this works for you or whether you need to take it a little bit wider. So inner shoulder, still feel like that's a little narrow for me. Anyway, it comes above the head. So you are trying to make the biggest window possible for the head and make the head or make the belt as light as you can on the crown of the head. So really go up, 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 up through the upper arms. Yeah, lift. Try and create as much space as you can there for the upper arms, for the head, for the waist. Lock in this sensation for urdhva danurasana, for the back bends. Lock that in. This connection from hands to armpit to waist, and then, of course, to legs needs to come in. And for handstand. And then release and bring the arms down. So put your belt to one side. Actually, we might use the front of the mat. So come into kneeling. We're going to go into downward facing dog. Hold on to the front of the mat. So if you're not sure of this, you guys who haven't done this with me, just let me know. You're holding on to the front of the mat. It's good if you've got a soft, thin mat on top of your other mat. Hands shoulder width apart.
And you're grasping the front of your mat. Yeah? Is everyone grasping the front of the mat? Have a look at my hands if you're not sure. You know, I'm really holding the front of my mat. So that as I lift the hips up into downward facing dog, I'm going to pull the mat forwards. And as I pull the mat forwards, I'm trying to find the same action as I just found with the shoulders, with the hands to the shoulders, to the hips, to the waist, to the hips. As I pull the mat forwards, the chest moves back. Press your thighs back, press your shins back. Keep your lower front ribs lifting. Don't drop them down. Feel the connection between the front and the back body. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Lift the hips back towards the wall strongly, away from your spine. And then release the mat, walk the hands back towards the feet. Uttanasana, upright. If you need blocks, take blocks, but otherwise your spine is concave, your spine is parallel to the floor. Lift up through the fronts of the legs and the backs of the legs. Looking forwards, moving the chin forwards. And then go again, holding the front of the mat. Pulling the mat forwards to take the chest back. So you're really embedding the shoulder blades in. Yeah, that's nice. Connect arms to armpits, to waist, lifting the pelvis back. Excuse me. Again, don't dig in through the lower front ribs. They've got to lift slightly. But you can take the shoulder, see? So this needs to resist, but this moves in. Yeah. So that could go up as you come in there, yeah? Lower front ribs softening, lower front ribs lifting. And then walk the hands back to the feet. One more time. Bring the feet together now. You can use blocks. You can have the hands to the floor to look forwards. Brian, keep the feet apart. Much more useful for you. If you're very tight in the hamstrings, keep the feet apart. Look forwards from below the breast line. Lift up through the front thighs. Lift up through the back thighs. And then come up. Take a bolster along your mat. It might be a little high, but we'll work with the bolster. So this time, you won't hold onto the front of the mat, but you will step back into downward facing dog. So what I'd like you to do, the way I'd like you to use the bolster is to hug the bolster with the upper arms, but to place the head, press the thighs back, lengthen the arms back, and then see if you can take the head further down the bolster towards the legs. And then you'll lift up, get more length through the arms, and take the head even closer to the legs. So essentially, you're working the spine, the upper body, back towards the legs. It might be a little high. Let's just see how we go. So you'll find you come into downward facing dog, the head rests, hopefully it's quite high. I think for most of you that will work, otherwise you might need to take an extra blanket, but I think for most of you that will work. I might give you a little bit of a sense of the room, those of you here. Yeah. So you're lifting the arms and taking the head to rest on the bolster. Robin, just so you know, I can't see you. And then lifting the arms even more, lift the shoulders up, and take the head further down the bolster towards the feet. And then do that again. Lift up through the shoulders so the head is light on the bolster, and then take the bolster towards the feet. So you really start to work with the space in the armpit, you know, elongate the armpit. It's a long armpit. In order to do that, the action is to take the pelvis back to the wall. Then you'll have lots of space in your armpit if your pelvis isn't heavy. And then step the hands back towards the feet. Uttanasana, hanging forwards this time, fold the arms. Lift through the front thighs, lift through the back thighs. And then come up. All right, so take everything off your mat. We're going to do some stepping up into a couple of standing poses. If you struggle to step up, you might want to have blocks underneath the hands. We're not going to go into chaturanga today, but you are going to be stepping up. All right, so come to the front of your mat. Stand in Tadasana. Stand with all four corners of your feet on the floor. Stand with the feet hip distance apart. Let's go feet hip distance apart. Raise the arms into urdvha. Now, see if you can make the connection from when you had the belt on. So, you know, I look at hands, I look at arms, you know, we're not going to spend a lot of time looking at that this morning. Most of us are uneven. You don't extend out of the fingers for most of you. So extend out of the fingers. Many of you have got one elbow bent, one shoulder doesn't extend. So see if you can get a sense of the evenness. If you've got a shoulder injury, that will come up in this. Connect the lower front ribs. Exhale, fold forwards. Take the hands down. Step back into downward facing dog. Now from there, you're going to look forwards, bring your shoulders forwards, bend your knees, and step your right foot up. You will probably need blocks for this, sorry. So put the blocks beside you to come into a lunge. So first action to start to open the psoas, which is essential before back bends. So you can have your hands on the second height of blocks, on the first height of blocks. The front leg is a Marichyasana leg, so sort of a squatting leg. And as you come forwards, the principle in this is to keep the shoulders, the crown of the head over the tailbone. So it's not a forward-leaning posture. The torso is upright. Press forwards from the center buttocks. Bring the blocks back to the line of the hips. Roll the shoulders back. Lift the breastbone up. Buttocks forwards. You can take the head back. Squeeze the spinal muscles in towards the spine. Deepen the indentation of the spine. Draw from the back of the knee up to the buttock bone on the back leg and roll to the little toe side of your foot on the back leg. Then exhale, release. Place the hands, come forwards and back into downward facing dog. And go to the other side. Shoulders forwards. And step the left foot up. Position your blocks around the level of your hips so that as you come forwards, again, keeping the crown of the head directly above the tailbone, the perineum, roll over to the little toe side of your foot on the right. So the back of the thigh is broad. Drop the pelvis down towards the floor. Roll the shoulders back. Draw the outer spinal muscles towards your spine. Lift the head. If you've had a migraine, maybe don't lift the head. And then release. Come forwards. Downward facing dog. Feel now, find out now how downward facing dog feels. It's probably your 5th, your 6th. Usually, you know, you get to the 5th and it's a decent one. It feels open through the armpits. It feels long through the spine. The heels start to come down. But it really takes that long often to come to a reasonable downward facing dog. Look forwards, bend your knees. You're going to step your right foot forwards to triangle. So adjust your feet so that your right heel is in line with the center of your back foot. You can take your hand to the floor. You can take your hand onto the leg. Press the right buttock forwards. Turn the left shoulder back. And raise the top arm to the ceiling. That's it. Be aware of the tips of your fingers. Most of you the body finishes about at the wrist. That's not the case. Your energy, your awareness goes right to the tips of the fingers. Don't forget that little detail. It could be, it could be the difference between life and death. Matilda, just take the left arm, not so close to the ear, more to the vertical. That's it. That's better. That's better. Reach up through the left arm. Reach down through the right arm. Spread the shoulder blades. And with that strong action of the arm, turn the right breast towards the left palm. You've got the space now in the chest once you separate the arms. Now from there, you're going to look at the floor, swing the left hand down, bend the front knee, and step back to downward facing dog. And step the left foot up. Adjust your feet. Come into Trikonasana. You might find coming from down low that you can come lower. But if you do that, make sure the left buttock is moving forwards towards the front of your body. You're not sitting the left buttock back. Once more, very strong action through the left arm, very strong action through the right arm. And then allow that action to help you rotate the spine. That's it. Yes, Anne, exactly. Turning the left chest forwards, the left waist forwards, because you've got the action in the arms. Down to Trikonasana, down to downward dog. Yeah. Great. Pelvis back. Parsvakonasana. Step the right foot forwards. Bend, keep the front knee bent. So you don't need to come up. You're already in the position. Don't lift the right hip. Just simply come onto the fingertips of the right hand. Rotate the spine up towards the ceiling, towards the left, and raise the top arm up. But don't lift the right thigh up as you do this. If you need a block, you take a block. But probably you don't need a block. The foot is down. The foot is down. Hip is down. Foot is down. Find out where your fingertips are, Julie. Find out where your fingertips are, Gay. Find out where your wrist is. Extend the top arm up. Now reach the right arm down, reach the left arm up, and rotate from your waist. Much harder here. Rotate from the waist. That's it. Press the right buttock forwards. Cardi, more in your back leg. Lift more back into your left leg. Don't come so far down. That's it. Swing the left hand down to the floor, step back into downward facing dog. And step forwards with the left foot. Bring the right foot down. That's it. Keep strong, stay strong in the back foot, back leg. Now raise the right arm towards the ceiling. Find out where your fingertips are. Right to the fingertips, right to the fingertip. Reach out through the palm. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Fingers together when the fingers are off the floor. That's it. Fingers together. Reach up with that top arm and now turn the left chest forwards. You have more space once you really extend through the arms to turn the chest forwards. Much easier then. Downward facing dog. You can step, you can jump the feet to your hands. It's up to you. Step both feet to your hands, jump the feet to the hands. Yeah. Uttanasana, feet together. Now spread the hands out to the sides, turn the hands out, spread the hands in line with your big toes, and bring the side chest down. Side waist, side chest, moving down. Lift up through the fronts of the thighs, lift up through the backs of the thighs, go right down, go, 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 go. Let the head release. And then from there, if your back's sore, bring your hands onto your hips and come up. Otherwise, reach the arms forwards and up. Reach the arms forwards and up. Great. And arms down. All right. So we're going to go to the wall for handstand. Simple handstand today. Fingers, finger length away from the wall. Fingers pointing forwards. Hands, we've talked about that quite a lot. We've done quite a lot of work in handstand. Let's just take the hands down for a moment. If you can't get the hands down on the floor, use blocks. Have the feet as wide as your mat. Let's go this way. So you can have the hands to the floor. If you can have the hands flat on the floor. So first of all, have a look at your hands. They almost need to be, I don't want to say narrower than the shoulders, but they're narrow, yeah? And the weight should drop down between the index finger and the second finger. That's where the weight of your hand should be, and the whole hand is flat on the floor. Now from there, push the shoulders up away from the floor. So we've done this with the feet on the wall. We've done this in all sorts of ways. Lift the shoulders away from the floor. Now drop the shoulders down without bending the elbows. And now lift the shoulders again. And drop down without bending the elbows, and lift the shoulders again. So that lifted shoulder position is where you need to be when you kick up into handstand. All right, so set yourselves up. You can use whatever you use to get up, whether you need a bolster or you need a belt around the elbows. Again, if you're a bit migrainey, a bit headachy, just do half dog to the wall if you don't want to kick up. Your
fourth day of my cycle.
Fourth day of your cycle. And how many days is it?
Tends to be about 5 or 6.
Okay.
But towards the end, it's
Yeah.
not heavy.
So got very shortly. Just don't stay up. Maybe kick up. 5 breaths, come down. Yeah. Lift the shoulders. Notice what a difference it makes that you don't have to kick up 3 times before you actually get up because the shoulders are lifted. Yeah. If you keep the shoulders lifted when you kick up, you'll be able to get there. Lift the shoulders to kick up. Now, once you're up, climb the heels up the wall. Climb the heels up the wall. That's it, Hannah. Climb the heels up the wall so that the armpits are more and more and more and more open. Climb the heels up the wall. Yeah. If you are not kicking up, not able to kick up, then either step up the wall. So go the other way, turn around. So Brian, try that, turn around and step up the wall so that you are at least in the position. Yep. So you can step up the wall and you can walk the hands to the wall so that you're at least in the position. Exactly, Brian. Yes. So if you have a look at Brian, this is a really good way to work into handstand without having to kick up. Then you can be in that that index finger and second finger. Don't let the buttocks collapse though. So that comes in, lower front ribs up, and down, and be careful. Yes, you have to give yourself the space to get down into that. Oh, Joe, you have to take the other leg up with you. All right, exhale and come down. Just rest down for a moment. Uttanasana. Fold the arms, hang forwards. And then inhale and come up. I would like to see everybody kicking up into handstand. Anyway, something to work with, yeah? You're going to turn the hands out. If you can't kick up, can I ask you to walk up like Brian so that you're walking right up? You're walking your hands close to the wall and you're going right up and your chest is really close to the wall. Otherwise, you're turning the hands out with the heels of the hand in line with the inner shoulder crease, shoulders up again and kicking up lightly. Yeah. Sorry? Yeah, yeah. So there is noise cancelling, unfortunately, on these earphones, so it's hard for me to hear you guys. Makes me feel quite deaf. Anyway.
You should be able to only have one. The microphone should work, even if.
Would it work?
Yeah.
Just with one?
Yeah.
Thank you. I love that. Can you guys still hear me? Can you guys still hear? You can't put your arm up if you're in handstand, can you? You can still hear, just nod. Okay. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you, guys. You technological whizzes, you. That's so much better. Oh my God, I don't feel like I'm in a bubble. All right. So lift the shoulders up and kick up. Lift, 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 and kick. Don't drop. So Julie, you're dropping before you kick. Don't drop before you kick. If it helps, use a belt around the elbows. Don't drop. Lift the shoulders and now step up. Try and connect your abdominals as you go. Don't forget about everything else. And then walk the heels up the wall and open the armpits. Yes, Gay, I feel like you're getting stronger in this. I really do. Take your feet slightly to the left. Now, before you step down, Julie, lift your shoulders and step down from lifted shoulders. Lift your shoulders. Yeah, don't drop the shoulders as you step down. That's it, Matilda. Yes. So it really teaches you how to go up with lifted shoulders, how to come down with lifted shoulders, yeah? Okay, Uttanasana, everyone. Uttanasana. And then inhale and come up. Forearm balance. So I would like you to have, I mean, these white blankets are really good for that, actually, you know, to roll everything up. But I find that these blankets, if you roll them on their long edge, and again, if you're not kicking up, at least do the preparations because it gives you lots of mobility in the shoulders, this pose, and strength in the shoulders. So on its long edge of this thinner blanket, you're going to roll this way, and probably about that sort of height. It doesn't need to be really, really high. And then you're going to turn that around. So I'll show you this way because otherwise you can't see if I've got it against the wall. I want the roll, we've done this before, it's not new. You do need a belt around the elbows. I want the roll to be underneath my elbows. It's not underneath my forearms. It's not right on the tips of my elbows. It goes about, I don't know, you know, of a fifth of the way. Is that a fifth of the way? No, it's probably a quarter of the way down my forearm. And then I've got my block or block, however many blocks you use here. But it just gives you that lift. Yes? So as you come into this, you know, we've been working this way. The knees start at the elbows, or as close to as possible. I know for some of you that shoulder rotation is tricky. So if you can't get the knees to the elbows and go up, then bring the knees slightly away, but don't have the legs a long way away from the elbows because it's hard to get into the position. You noticed with me, I've rolled up my sleeves for this, metaphorically and physically. Yeah. So my skin is on the floor. It's like doing headstand with, you know, or Tadasana with socks. Have your skin on the floor. All right. So from here, the block is to the wall. This is underneath, this roll is underneath my elbows. I'm going to take my knees right up to my elbows and then lift my buttocks up. Knees to elbows, Annie, knees to elbows. Hands flat, everyone. Hands are flat, thumbs are in front of the block. So, Jude, that's not going to be useful. It's got to be higher and it's got to be further away. Yes, at least there. Yeah, knees to elbows and then lift the hips up. That's it, that's it. You've got to get the shoulder rotation. Ah, there, yes. And then move the shoulders away from the wall. Lift the armpit, chest. Just go into the preparations for the moment. There's a lot happening here. Annie, if you're going to have the hands like that, you don't want to grip the block in that way. You need more space from the wall. So if you're turning the palms in, you need to have another block there. Otherwise, there's no space for the hands. I'm suggesting you have the hands down, not the palms in, but if you've got great restriction through the shoulders, by all means, have the palms turned in. Yeah. Yes, go up. So all this comes in, you've got to take it back. Yes. Yeah. Let's have a look. Everyone go up if you can. Everyone go up. Yeah. Lift the hips up, lift the armpit, chest up. That's it. Lift the shoulders and then kick up. Everyone come down. I want to have a look again. It's interesting how many of you can get into this pose but can't kick up into handstand. I mean, I would say this pose is so much harder. Anyway, come into the preparations. Let me have a look. So I'd like to see you go from elbows down, knees to elbows. Then it's almost a circular motion of taking the hips up and lifting the shoulders. And then from there, if you can, walk in even more and step up. So that's what I want to see. And then go up. So do the actions and then kick up. Shoulders up. Priya, take the other leg with you. You're forgetting, people forget their legs. Okay, come down, everyone, have a bit of a look. Okay. Come down, have a look at the side, at Hannah from the side. Sorry, Hannah. So most of you are doing this. I'm going to take the camera and move you around so you can see what's going on. So if we could go there so they can see Hannah. Can you see Hannah, you guys? Hang on, let me just go to non-gallery view so I can see what we're doing. Speaker view. Yes, I can see, you can see Hannah. All right. So she does it. She's had a shoulder injury. She does really well there. She's got the mobility, which is great. So you can already see that the shoulders are in front of the elbows. There is a bit of that. So she's probably got to walk that back slightly and lift the shoulders up. And then she's going to kick up. So what's happening for most of you is this all drops. So I would take her from the back waist and lift that. She's got to lift from her back waist and then she can lift her shoulders more. That's it. That's better. Buttocks to heels. She's really got to lift from the back waist. Let's have a look now. Yes, she's more lifted. And then this doesn't collapse forward so much. If she lifts from her back waist, you feel when you're in forearm balance that all of this starts to come forwards, doesn't it? Do you feel like that? And you go into your lower back and it doesn't feel nice. So you're lifting from this point into the heel bones, and that will start to bring all of this ribby stuff forwards. Does anyone feel in this pose that they get a bit breathless? Yeah, it's because all of this is pushing forwards again. So you've got to quiet the diaphragm. So let's go once more. So go into it in this very methodical way. I don't care if you're just doing preparations. The preparations are so methodical that eventually you'll get there if you come into it through the correct process. Different parts of the body will open up. Now, press down through the palms of your hands. Julie, be really clear through the palms of your hands. They've got a long history, those hands, I can see. Yes, and I can see you working with that. Spread your fingers, knees to elbows to start off with, then lift the hips up, lift the shoulders, walk in and kick up. Now, when you kick up this time, that's much better, Matilda. Lift from your back waist, through the back thighs to the heels, lift up, feel as though you're lifting from the back of your body. Now, quieten the diaphragm. If you're breathless, it's because you're pushing your diaphragm forwards. Soften your diaphragm back towards the back of your body. Yes, yes, Matilda, that's nice. Lift your shoulders more. Lift the shoulders, lift the shoulders, lift the shoulders. Gay more. Lift the shoulders. And step down. Well done. Well done. Urdhva. Great. So let's come into gallery view again. All right. Yep. Now from there, you're going to take your thumb and forefinger to the wall, thumb and four fingers, the downward facing dog. You're going to take 10 breaths in downward facing dog and just observe with all the work we've just done through the shoulders, through the upper back, how is your downward dog? You know, I'm not going to preempt this, but, you know, how is it? How is that, that ease, that energy, that openness that now comes to downward facing dog, the openness of the armpits, the lift of the spine, the openness of the backs of the legs. Take the heels down if you can, right down. Feel how downward dog feels once the body is open. Yes, for most of you, it's quite a different pose now. So it's really good after your inversions to find the almost the more subtle openings of downward facing dog, which then you can start to look for in general, even before you've done those big openings. Thighs back, shins back, pelvis back, to give the freedom through the arms, to give the freedom through the armpits. Length in the armpits, from the center of the armpit, lengthen back into the hip sockets, and from the center of the armpit, release forwards towards the hands. Yes, so the armpits are really open now. And then walk the hands in towards the feet and come up. So we've been doing this quite a lot, or last week we did it quite a lot because we did back bends. Take your chair onto your mat for warrior one. So for those of you who are really tight through the psoas, if you're tight through the psoas, it's hard to have access to back bends. You just feel it in the lower back, yeah? And there are all sorts of reasons why we have a tight psoas. Yes, genetic. If you're a runner, if you are a cyclist, you are going to have a tight psoas. You know, every time you sit all day, you know, my psoas here is short, yeah? So we're tightening the psoas really with everything that we do. And then we come to yoga and want to do back bends and wonder why it hurts or it's hard. So opening the psoas is one of the most important things we can do for back bends, towards back bends. Back bends give you such a huge freedom. Why do we do so many back bends? Yes, it gives you freedom, it gives you courage, but it also really affects our mood. So, you know, in Pune, if somebody had depression, you would just see them go into back bend after back bend with Iyengar because it lifts the mood so much. So we adjusted this a lot last week, whether you need it, if you've got a very short psoas, maybe you need something underneath the foot or you need more height on the seat of the chair. And we talked about bringing this, you know, as Brian, so yes, that's going to be very difficult. Brian, so sort of sincerely, with such a sincere face and a quizzical gaze, asked me last week, what do you mean by the outer groin? Such a good question. I mean, whoever talks about the outer groin? Outer groin is here. I want to bring the outer groin of my left leg onto the chair. Otherwise, again, I'm not working the psoas. So the outer groin of my left leg comes onto the chair or chair seat as much as possible. I'm moving my inner groin back away from the chair seat. Tuck your fingers underneath the back of the chair seat. Tuck your fingers. See how mine are at the back? So I'm going over the chair rest, and my fingers are tucking underneath. And now straighten the back knee. Lift the back of the thigh towards the ceiling. Lift the calf towards the ceiling. Roll the shoulders back. The more I move my torso back away from my left leg, the more of a stretch I'm getting through the psoas. And that's because the psoas attaches to the front of the spine and the inner left leg. Okay, lift your left knee. Your left knee's bent. Everyone, your left knee is bent. Straighten your left knee. Lift it, lift it, lift it. Breathe, smile, lift the back leg. Sorry. You might need more height. Yeah. If you've got very long legs, you might need more height. Yeah, Hannah, that's a good back leg lift. Annie too. All right, release and change sides. Could anyone feel their psoas after Saturday or after whenever we did, Thursday? Yeah, good. Now you know where it is. Okay, go to the other side. So once more, curl back over the backrest of the chair. Keep in mind that you're not pushing your lower front ribs forwards. If you have a tendency to push your lower front ribs forwards, particularly those of you who are really getting into practice in teacher training, tie a belt around there because it really helps with that habit. You go, oh yeah, that's right, it's really tight there. I've got to bring it back because it is a habit, isn't it? And bring the outer right groin onto the chair seat. Lift the right knee up, right knee up, right knee up, right knee up. So on my So Robin, that looks good because you do tend to push the ribs forwards and that's actually looking fine, although you're not quite in the pose in the right way. Robin, can you hear me? Yep. You actually need to turn around the other way. So you need to turn around so that the back, no, don't turn the chair around, turn you around. Now turn around and now step the left leg through the chair. Left leg through. Yeah, you're stepping your right leg through. But anyway, yes, that way. That's the way you need to be. Now bring your hands behind you and tuck your fingers underneath the back of the chair. No. Over the chair, over the backrest of the chair. Fingers behind the back, hold it. Yeah, that's it. And pull up against the chair to roll the shoulders back. That's better. That's better. All right. And step out and release. So you're going to take your belt and make a little loop of belt. And that little loop of belt is going to come around your left ankle. And around your left ankle, it kind of make it tighter than that. That's not going to be tight enough. So make it tight, really, really, really tight, not loose like I have. So really tight around the ankle so it can't move a lot, but the belt needs to come behind you. So that as I come into warrior one and I bring the back of my heel down, And I turn the left pelvis forwards and I'm lifting, really lifting. So the belt comes between the thumb and the forefinger. I want to bring the outer edge of my left heel down, not the inner edge. Outer edge of the left heel down. Soften the floating ribs back, lower front ribs, lift higher, lift. So walk the hands down the belt slightly, and now lift more. So the arms are straight, and there's a connection. There, that's it. Turn the left pelvis forwards. Sit the right buttock down. Turn the left pelvis forwards, Robin, straighten your back knee. Don't let the knee bend. The knee is really bent. Lift the shin bone up, much more. Kylie, I can't see you. Karen, that's looking good. There are a couple of things I want to look at here. So, let's see who we're going to look at. Julie, I think. Okay, come off the wall so we can see you. I think this is such an essential pose. If you can't do warrior one, you're not going to be able to do back bends. I'm just going to bring the camera over. Sorry. This is how it works. With a national class. It'd be good to have an international class. No, it's just hubris, isn't it, really? All right, so she's going to come into this. So first of all, I hope we've talked about how you don't have to have the right heel in line with the left instep. It's much better, and I have to say, when I worked with this woman called Usha Devi in Bali at the beginning of this year, so she spent decades with Iyengar, she's very elderly. I'd never heard that before, but it makes such a difference to rather have the feet as wide as the pelvis. So not heel to instep. Much easier, because it's so much easier then, I mean, this is from my point of view, to get the pelvis forwards. So there's so much more space there. So she's got to get her left pelvis around. Then she's going to bend her front knee. And, we've already done a lot of those lunges. So this is all psoas. Her psoas starts here at the front of her spine. It's very deep, and it goes all the way down and it attaches in here, the psoas muscle, a little higher, about there. So the other thing that she wants to do, and all of you want to do, is you want to turn this inner leg back. Her inner leg has to turn, this has to go back. Take this back, take this back, take this back. And she's got to bring her outer heel down. Inner leg. So she's not, all of this comes back. She's got to take this outer hip forwards, the inner leg goes back, and she lifts through the inner knee. Lift the inner knee. So that's different. And now she's bending forwards because her psoas is tight. So then she has to start to come up. Now the belt gives you traction. So lift through the belt, lift, because lifting through the belt is going to help you lift this, and it's going to help you connect hand to armpit to waist. So already she's in a different pose, isn't she? The whole thing looks different, okay? So that's where you need to be. There is a rotation in the back leg, and internal rotation of the back leg and a lift of the inner leg. Without that, you're doomed. All right, where are we going? Doomed. Your warrior one is doomed. It just becomes warrior one, not warrior one, warrior one. All right. Karen, do you want to talk to me? You've got to unmute yourself if you want to talk to me. No? All right. Let's go to the same side. You guys can have a slightly different view. Yeah, I'll come and... All right. So now you're moving your right leg away from your left leg. So what does that mean? It means your left leg has to stay where it is as your right leg goes forwards. And Joe, you dare I say you have a lovely back leg in this pose. Please don't quote me on that. Sit the right buttock down, right buttock down. Yes, right buttock down. Yeah, I really want to sort of look at this pose. Yeah. Sit the right buttock down more, Joe, but good back leg. And good for you, because I know how much you're working with the psoas. So it's a much better pose for you. Now soften your lips. Don't do yoga with your lips, guys. It doesn't help. Raise the arms up, straighten the elbows. Okay, and to the other side. Try to get that action of the back leg. Let's go to the other side. Yeah. It's a bit like a surfboard belt, isn't it? So you don't lose your warrior one. Bend your left knee. Sit your left buttock down. Now turn the right inner thigh back to the wall. Yes, really find that rotation through the right inner thigh. Lift the back body up. Ah, yes, lift it up. Yes, Priya. Priya, that's exactly how I want. So have a quick look at Priya, don't come up. Look at how she's using the belt. She's lifting the arms up away from the belt. She's really using the belt to lift the side waist. Lift the belt up. It will help you lift the back leg and it will help you lift your side waist up. Again, sit the left buttock down more. Don't come up with the left buttock. And now soften your diaphragm because you're hardening there. It's hard to breathe. Yeah. And inhale and come up. Much better, everybody. All right, just unclick your belt. So from here, you're going to set yourselves up to come into Supta Virasana. So we will do it in this way. I'll move the camera if I need to. You need to be almost all of the way down your mat for this to work. For most of you, you're much too far forwards when we do this. I would say 3/4 of the way down your mat. You're in Virasana. You can absolutely use, you want to get rid of it. Carney's rejecting you guys online. You're coming back to me. All right. So you don't need to sit on the floor. You can sit up on a support, but then you need more height through your blocks. I'll come and help a little bit more today with this. It's a really useful pose to get you into back bends. So this is going to go across the shoulder blades. And then this block sort of sits like this. So you've got something to rest the back of your head on. So here, I'm not just laying myself down. Have a look. I'm lifting up to come down. You've got to do that. Otherwise, you're just flat on the block. I'm lifting up to come down. And then the block is situated under my, I can go the other way, probably that way, under my head. And I need to have my hands flat on the wall to have that connection again between the hands and the waist, pushing the wall away. So that's where I'm going with this. Now, if you need to sit up higher, this hurts, doesn't it? Yeah, yeah. So do it simple cross legs and go back, because the back bend is more important than the leg action. If you can't kneel because it pinches at the back of your knee, and sometimes Supta Virasana is not great, then by all means go cross-legged and back. Same action with the blocks, but just cross-legged and back. Remember, you need to be a long way from the wall, Robin, to be able to get the arms straight. I can already see it. Even though I can't see much of you, I can see that. Yeah. And Karen, you might be too close as well, but just see how it goes. You know this one anyway. Push the wall away. The arms are straight. Try to get that action or have a feel from the waist to the shoulders to the hands. Waist to shoulders to hands. Hands shoulder width apart. Yeah, your hands are too wide. They're not connecting in with your waist that way. Sorry? Fingers down. Fingers down. Fingers down. Julie, I'm worried about what you're doing with your legs. So see how this is all out. This has to be in. So sit up on another block. You know, sit up. I'll grab you a block. Knees are together. Outer ankles in to inner ankles. Don't let the feet banana. You've got to pull the outer ankles in. I'm getting you 2 because I don't know how high you need to go. But that is not so good for your knees. So you could sit up, but then you need more height there. Okay? Yeah, let's have a look for you. I mean, you're much too close to the wall.
That's one of my arms actually have that.
And then turn it that way. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Looks all right to me. Yep. Soften your lower front ribs. Broaden your diaphragm. Push the wall away. It hurts on T3.
Pressing through the middle feels like it's.
What would happen if?
It's
Yeah. So what would happen if we turned it around the block? Like if it was a bit more. So come up. Because you can have it round that way. So see what it's like. See if it makes any difference. If you go that way. If it takes the pressure off a bit. Even worse. Then go low. Go flat like that. Underneath your shoulder blades. Yep. Lengthen out through the center of the kneecap, center of patellas, so that the front thighs are long. And support yourselves. Inhale. Take the hands to floor, or yes, that's probably the best way. Hands to floor and come up. You might want to just stretch the legs out behind you to release. All right, we're going to go into backasana. If you've got knee issues, you're still going to do this, but you're going to do it without the belt. If you haven't got knee issues, you'll do it with the belt. Take the bolster across the front of your mat. I don't think this is a pose we've done before. These are the poses that I like to sort of access in this class because we don't get around to them. Okay. We're going to do this slightly differently, sorry. Put your belt to one side. Let's start differently. So this is going to be under my lower front ribs here. And from there, I'm going to take hold of my right foot. Now, you might need to have a look at this. I've got my hand on top of my foot. I'm rotating my fingers out, so anti-clockwise, elbow up to the ceiling, and then I'm coming down into this pose, drawing my heel down, lengthening my knee back, elbow up towards the ceiling. Yes? My foot comes to the outside of my hip. It might not come to the outside of your hip, but ultimately, if you look at Iyengar doing this, his feet are on the floor. Yep. Okay, so that's kind of where you're going with it. His knees are not together in this, which is kind of interesting. So if I show you the other side, have a look here, I'm going clockwise. So I am turning to get hold of my foot. The heel of my hand is on the top of my foot. I'm rotating my fingers forwards, elbow up to the ceiling, And then I'm coming sort of more centrally, bringing the foot in and down. Yep. So the foot is coming right down to the outside of my hip. I'm not super warmed up, so I'm not going to push it, but that's where I'm going. Let's try it. It is a shoulder rotation. Yeah, it is a shoulder rotation. Maybe we'll do it without the belt today, actually. So I'll talk you through it. So you're going to reach back and take your hand onto the top of your foot with your fingers pointing out to your right. Fingers are pointing out to your right. No, other way. You've got your right leg up. You've got your right leg up and your fingers are pointing out to your right. Then you're rotating the fingers towards the toes, anti-clockwise, bringing the heel of the hand onto the top of the foot, and then bring your chest more centrally. You can bring the forearm, the left forearm down, and draw the foot down towards the outer hip. Yep, elbows up towards the ceiling. As you do that, press the tailbone down into the floor strongly. So the whole pelvis, front of the pelvis, is really flush with the floor. You've got to take the tailbone down. This teaches you the length you need for the quadricep muscles, but it teaches you where the pelvis needs to go. Remember last week in the classes, we were taking the thighs back and the pelvis forwards. Remember all of that? What are you doing here? You're doing the same. You're taking the thigh back up towards the ceiling and the pelvis down to the floor, and change sides. Robin, are you managing this? You can just nod. Yeah. Kylie as well. You managing this? Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those poses it's best to be in the room with. So with the other side, the fingers are out to the left and you're going in a clockwise direction with your fingers towards your toes. And again, the elbows coming up towards the ceiling. And Karen and Robin, I'll help you with this next weekend when you're here. Yep. So Karen, the elbow has to go up the other way. You've got to bring the fingers forwards in line with the toes. So turn the fingers out towards your left and around to the front. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, sorry, I can't see the hand. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Draw the heel down towards the hip. Lengthen the knee away from the back of the thigh. And Priya, this could be good long term with the whole knee thing, yeah, and the pinching. Release. Go back to the first side. Yeah. Rotate the fingers of the right hand out to the right and then swivel them forwards to face the front or to face your head. Elbow up, fingers forwards. You've got to press down the foot. That's it, Annie. You've got to press the foot down. Hannah, press the foot down. I'm going to hold it. And now see if you can rotate that. There we are. That's where you need to go. Yes, that's where you need to go. Yeah? Yes, you are definitely. Yes. Yeah. Now, if you can, you'll keep holding that. So I'm going to go here to give you some support. Hand is there. Your hand needs to go that way. That's it. That's it. And press down. If you can, you hold that one there. You bend the other one up and you do the same on the other side. This is not danurasana. You've got to swivel. You've got to swivel. Swivel. So I'm going to hold it there because you can do this. I think you can do this. Fingers out this way. Yeah, it's more of a sort of mind working out. So that has to come back, that forwards. Yeah. See if you can do it both sides. Forwards. Your fingers should be forwards in line with your toes. Fingers are
hands rather than fingers.
Sorry?
Palms of your hands rather than
You're using the balls of your hands rather than your fingers. So there's an mostly it's a brain thing, isn't it, everyone? So I'm holding that.
Yeah.
Because you should be able to do that. Yes? So have a look at Priya. So as you work this, you've got to get the hand further back, elbow up to the ceiling, shoulders roll back, elbows squeeze in. Now lift your chest. So press your hands down on your feet to lift your chest and take that down. So this is where she's going. The chest doesn't come up very high in this pose. Obviously, she's using the bolster anyway, but the chest is quite low. The principle is to get the feet as low as you can. Yes? Yes. All right. Just release the legs. It's that's a work in progress, isn't it, guys? And slowly make your way up to kneeling. We're going to come into ustrasana. So you're going to have the chair in front of you. How are we doing? Yep. Now, if you need a bolster on your heels for ustrasana, you're welcome to use it. But ultimately, I'd like you to use the chair so that the pelvis moves towards the chair, but you feel the thighs moving away. Pelvis, pelvis, pelvis towards, thighs away as you start to go back. Yes? Up to you whether you want to use the bolster. Once you're down in ustrasana, you've got to re-find the chair because you'll curl back, the hips come away, the pelvis comes away. You've got to keep moving the buttocks forwards. Again, I want to be careful this morning. But once I'm there, then I start to bring the pelvis further forwards. So I'm not letting the pelvis go back. All right? Give it a go. So you can have your hands on the bolster if you want to. Buttocks forwards, pelvis forwards. Buttocks forwards, pelvis forwards. Don't lose the chair. Now refine the chair once you're there. That the pubic bone, if possible, touches the bolster. Yes, Robin, that's good. Roll the shoulders back. Now lift your shoulders towards your ears, everyone. So you're making a nest for your neck. Lift your shoulders up towards your ears to support your neck. That's it. Pelvis forwards. Now, once the pelvis, mostly, it's going to feel like the top of your thighs have touched the chair. Keep moving the pelvis forwards and now press the center of your thighs away and see what it does. And then see if you can take the hands flat on your feet. So in ustrasana, the hands reflect the feet. The hands are flat, the fingers are on the toes. So keep going with the thumbs. That's better, that's better, that's better. So keep going, pelvis forwards. Now lengthen through here, soften this. So you're much flatter. Yes, that's it. And now take the hands down further. That's more the pose. Well done. So once more, pelvis forwards, press this back, sort of shave it back, soften through there, and lift your shoulders. Yeah, great, fabulous. Come up, sit back on your heels for a moment. Going to do one more. When you're ready. So again, if you're finding it hard to breathe, it's because you are hardening the diaphragm. You've got to soften the diaphragm in these. Yep. All right, when you're ready, pelvis forwards, tailbone forwards, pubis forwards, shave the center of your thighs back. That's it. Soften your front ribs. Lengthen from the tailbone right through the spine up to the base of the skull. Annie, can you go? Lift up through the back of the legs. pelvis forwards. Now really roll the shoulders back. Now take your hands further down your feet. That's it. Roll the shoulders back, lift the shoulders up, and lengthen out through your spine. Yeah. Feel different? Yeah. Yeah, that's much better. Much better shape. And inhale and come up and sit back on your heels. Both disappearing. All right. Take a moment. I know they're hard work. Okay. I'm going to come up to lie back over the chair. Should be a little easier. Take your small piece of sticky mat. And just your white blanket, fold it into two and place it on the seat of your chair. So you need to be, often I find with this pose, it's good not to be on the mat. I need to come slightly off the mat. So I'm stepping forwards, I'm facing the wall. I'm on the hard floor. Much better to be on the hard floor. When I lay back over the chair, and I think this is often the common confusion, the edge of the chair needs to be just below my shoulder blades. So in order for that to happen, I've got to walk my buttocks through a lot. And then, I can feel I'm too far away, I'm here. I've got my feet down. If you're really struggling through your lower back, have your feet higher. I'm going to push away. Once more, I'm shaving my thighs down, lifting my buttocks, and starting to curl back, slowly stretching my legs. That's where I'm going. Okay? Yeah. Yes, so what I find is really good is to not hold on to the chair legs, to lie back and have this around the back of the neck and hold it. So I'm really supporting my neck. So I am laying back, but I'm supporting my neck this way. Yes, yes. So I maybe have, I'd still probably have one of these blankets just folded into two. I mean, you're not so tall. So, probably even that is going to work for you. And then have that blanket around so come off further, Priya. So the edge of the chair, yes, that's great, Jude, should sit underneath the shoulder blades. Slide the heels towards the wall. Heels on the wall. So most of you are too far away from the wall. You've got to have the heels on the floor and on the wall, in that corner. Yeah. That's it, Hannah. Now, don't push your head back. Again, pushing your head back will make you feel sick. Don't push your head back. Curl the torso around the edge of the chair. Press your thighs down so you can feel that same action here. You're shaving the tops of your thighs. The center of the thigh is moving down to the floor, but the pelvis essentially is held up, isn't it, by the chair? That's that same action. Now release the base of the skull. Don't push the head back. Then the throat gets hyperextended. You start to feel sick. You can't breathe. Let the base of the skull release. Here in this pose, it's really about the leg work. Thighs down, extending the heels towards the wall. Lengthening, there's a real lengthening, a lifting through the backs of the legs. But again, it's a real psoas stretch. So those of you who are struggling with a tight psoas, we were talking again in teacher training, this is a good one to be doing regularly because it opens the psoas without it being too, you can stay there. If you've got Really short psoas, it's great to get into something like this or over the back bender for 10 minutes and start to really lengthen through the psoas. Sore? No, I think it's different for you because of your spondy. So if that's the case, then walk the feet slightly up the wall. Just have the feet a little higher. Yeah, yeah. So you still got the curling action. Don't take them too high because then nothing happens in the body. Yeah.
Feels like it's deep.
But if there's that really digging in, then too much if you've got spondy.
Stretch without knees going fully.
I know it's so hard, isn't it? So you.
I'm not feeling a stretch at all.
And what would happen there if we put that right underneath? Yes, I know. And it's always, it's sort of a known thing that for teachers that it's so much harder when you've got a really, really flexible body because you can't feel the same, you can't activate the same. So for you, there's almost a sense of pushing slightly up from the back of the body to the front of the body. That's what you've got to do. And that's a much better action for you. And then bend the knees, hold onto the back edge of the chair, push your feet into the floor and come up. You're going to stay on your chair. Don't get out of your chair yet. So the next part of this, and I'll show you with Priya because she doesn't need all that stuff with this one. She's going to come back into this, but this time she's going to have the tops of her shoulders on the chair seat. And she's going to keep her knees bent. She's holding on to here. And she wants to push down through her feet and lift her ribs off. And she's going to curl her shoulders that way, almost as though she's taking her head under the seat of the chair. So she's up, her buttocks are up. The chair does most of the pose for you, but she's really getting that sense of lift through the shoulders as she lifts the buttocks up. Thank you. Yeah, and that's probably better for you, that one anyway, with the legs. That's where you're going? Yep. Sorry, guys, on the camera, I've just realised I've neglected you. But let's have a look at Annie do this. So the tops of your shoulders are on the chair seat. A little bit further back, Annie. No, the other way, sorry, just there. And the knees are bent up for urdhva danurasana. Outer edges of your feet are parallel. Hannah, turn your toes in. Anne, turn your toes in. Don't turn the feet out. You've got to turn the toes further in. And then from there, lift the buttocks up, lift the ribs up, and it feels like you're curling the shoulders around the edge of the seat of the chair and almost taking the head underneath the seat of the chair as you lift up. So your buttocks are off the chair, the ribs are off the chair. Hopefully you guys can see. Buttocks are off the chair, ribs are off the chair. I'm going to take you closer over here.
I'm going to start cooling down now, Vanessa.
No worries. Yeah, start cooling down. Yeah, do some leg stretches after all of that, Kylie. Yeah, buttocks up. That's it. Nice. Really nice, Annie. Really nice, everyone. That's great. And then come down. And from there, come up to standing. Come up to sitting, come up to standing, come out of your chair. So this one again is accessible for everybody. And where it's really good is that it gives you this real height in the legs. So you're going to fold your blanket into 3. I think that's about as thick as we need. We did this last week. You want to reach back. I find if I can just touch the wall, that's where I need to be. But the first action of this, or where I want you to start, is to have the hands parallel to the floor. So ultimately with this, it's urdhva danurasana. So you're walking the hands right down the wall. But to start off with, have the hands in line with the shoulders and just get the curve of the chest. As I come into this, I'm hooking my elbows back behind the rest of the chair. I hope everyone can see this. Yes. Lifting the chest. I'm already ready to go. Lifting up, curling back. This could be more in the middle. Curling back I'm trying to get the height of the pelvis. The buttocks need to go up. And then I can take the hands to the wall and push the wall away. But I'm trying to get more and more height, almost trying to straighten my legs there. That's the first one. And then the second one, you'll go a little closer to the wall and you'll start to walk the hands down, okay? But first of all, get the height in the legs, because that's where you're going to go for urdhva danurasana. So if you can touch the wall easily, you're going to be too close. If you want to get the hands at shoulder height, you've got to be a bit further away. So whenever you're ready, hook the elbows back behind the backrest of the chair, lift the chest, curl, lift up, and you should be able to push the wall away. Walk the hands down to the height of your shoulders. Now, Joe, lift from the back of your knee up to your buttock bone. Lift from the back of your, that's it, lift up. Try to straighten your legs. There's this wonderful picture, I've talked about it before, of Iyengar doing this. He was in his 70s, he's wearing green shorts, and his legs are almost straight. So lift from the back of the knee to the buttock bone, lift up, get the pelvis to go up and shave the thighs down. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Wow, wow, Chris, that's great. Stay great. Really great. And come down and have a little rest. So if you can start to open up through the chest more and walk the hands down, you know, if you can visualize this, ultimately you would be, you know, you don't have to do this, but it works quite well if you're quite flexible to have the hands on the blocks on their highest height and to walk your hands down to the blocks. It sort of gives you a bit of an idea of where you're going with this. You probably need to be slightly further away from the wall. You may not. But in order, it's such a principle. I was watching this last week. The only way you're going to be able to get your hands that low is if your hips go up higher. The higher you get the pelvis up, the more you work the legs, the more you'll be able to get the hands down. Okay, so give it a go. Have a couple of goes with this. I'll talk while you're going, but I heard an interesting story from Peter Scott, who's one of my teachers. He was in a workshop with Abhijata, who's Iyengar's granddaughter, who's now sort of, you know, part of the dynasty as the others have died. So Indian, isn't it? The dynasty. Anyway, so lift the pelvis, Priya, and walk the hands down. And push the wall away as you do that. It's another action to push the wall away and go more. Keep going. Oh, why are you feeling nervous? The chair's there.
No, I just about my lower back.
Oh, okay. I think this will be okay for your lower back. I think, yes. Lift the pelvis up, walk the hands down. Yes, Matilda, you just need to be closer to the wall, don't you now? Push. Yes, so come up. So when you start to walk the hands down, you've got to be closer in. Yeah. You've got to be closer in when you walk the hands down and lift the hips up. Your hips are doing a really good job there. Walk the hands down. Go twice. Annie, you can go lower than that. Walk the hands down. Go, go, go. Lift the hips up. Walk the hands down. Yeah. Push the wall away, Julie. You've got to have straight elbows. If you don't have straight elbows here, you won't have straight elbows in urdhva danurasana. Yep. All right. Yes, breathe, 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 breathe. Don't push the ribs, breathe. Gay, you've got to have straight elbows, whether the arms are up or the arms are down, because urdhva danurasana, you're going to fall on your head if you don't have straight elbows. Right, we've got time just to do a couple. We will only do a few and then we will start to slow down. Urdhva danurasana. If you, actually no, let's all go. If you need a bolster to push up into urdhva danurasana, use a bolster and blocks. If you can go from the floor, you go from the floor. We're going to start with the hands on the second height of block. If you really struggle with your wrists, we'll talk about this. But ultimately, if you have a look, those of you on camera, I think you can see Hannah. I'm hoping you can see Hannah here. Have the blocks up here on their second height. You're welcome to use a belt around the elbows. If you find it hard, the hardest part to get up is that first 2 inches, then lie back over a bolster, hands on the blocks and push up from there. If you know you find it really impossible to push up, lay back over a chair, which is what we've been doing. Yes? So if you find it impossible to push up, better then to take a chair. So again, this is the way, a number of you are here, that we do it, that you are expected to do it in your assessment. So you're here, you're stepping through from here, have your chair on your mat this time, and you're pushing up from here, your hands are against the wall, and then you're pushing up. So if you find it absolutely impossible to get up from the floor, then go from the chair and push the wall away. It teaches you how to straighten your arms. It teaches you how to push up. Okay? Hannah, can you show? Belt is around the elbows to contain the arms, but where it helps is it gives you this counter force as you push up. So sometimes it's easier to get up that way because you're pushing out against the belt. If you have a look at Hannah, so let's just have a look at Hannah for a moment, because I'm going to ask you to go up in stages. So she's pressing out against the belt, which also keeps her elbows in, which means that the muscles on the upper back are active. The moment you do that, there's nothing containing the upper back to get you up. From here, she's going to lift her pelvis up first. So Hannah, just come down again. Just go pelvis up. Pelvis up. She's going to get this really activated. Buttocks up, buttocks up. Then she's going to come onto the crown of the head. And then she's going to coil all of this towards her spine, buttocks up, and she's going to go up and straighten her elbows. Yeah. And she's going to push down through her feet and lift the buttocks. Lift, 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 lift. Lift the buttocks, straighten the elbows, press the arms out against the belt. Okay, and that's great. Nothing wrong with that. That's come such a long way. Thank you. Especially because she's had a shoulder injury. So she's come such a long way with that. All right? Keep going up with the legs. Ready, steady, go. You had enough? Yeah. 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 I'm glad that you're always up for it. Great. I maybe it's a bit mean to say this, but I find, some people, they come in and they give me this list of things that are going on with them, all this stuff. My daughter's one of them, those of you who've met her, all this stuff. And then every time I look at her, she goes, no, I'm just going to give it a go. And up she goes. All right. So when you come up, stay, breathe, Annie. Lift from the back of the knee to the buttock bones. Go up when you're ready. Move your chest to the wall and your forearms away from the wall. So you're wanting to take the chest to the wall, forearms away from the wall. Come onto your toes. Lift your heels up. Lift the back of your legs up. Walk in a little. Buttocks up. Back of the legs up, and now chest to the wall, and now lower the heels down. Lift up through the back of the legs. That's it, and that's your process. So you're walking in. Yes, Priya, buttocks up, chest to the wall. Chest to the wall. So I want you to take your chest there, onto there, chest. Chest, no, she's coming down. Sorry. Yes, great.
Do I go up and then I come in?
Yes, so you've got to resist the forearms away from the wall, take the chest to the wall. Come and have a really quick look, everybody. Actually, let's have a quick look at Annie, because Annie's doing this. A number of you are doing this beautifully. Annie's doing this beautifully. Come and have a quick look. Always gives you a rest to have a look as well, doesn't it? And the camera's there. Say it spit out.
So, yeah, can you
She's
adjust
getting
the camera a little bit? Sorry, Vanessa.
Yes, hang on, let's move the camera. So she's getting the height. Can you see her? Yes. So she's going to go up. So my story was, Abhijata was teaching this pose where we were doing urdhva danurasana, not me, but they were. Then they were folding the mat into two, so that they did urdhva danurasana even more narrowly. And then they folded it into thirds. And so they kept narrowing and narrowing. So lift the center buttock up. Yes, beautifully. Soften the front ribs. So I'm going to say, take your chest to there, Priya. wherever you are. Chest to there, Annie. So walk the feet in. Walk the feet in, take the chest forwards. So she's wanting to take the chest to touch that. Exhale and come down. So you can see that she takes less and less space up on the mat. And I've been working like that because Peter Scott was telling this story. It is really interesting. You know, you fold the mat into two and you try and get your feet, because of course, as you get your feet in, you start to go higher. Ultimately, there's another lovely way of, could go for hours, couldn't we really? There's another really nice way of doing this pose. If you are, Priya, Matilda, maybe Annie, walking towards it, where you have 3 rows of blocks like this, and the forearm comes against this, but you're resisting away at the same time as taking the breastbone onto this. Does that make sense? So that's ultimately urdhva danurasana. Yes, you're resisting forearms away, but you're taking the chest forwards. The arms are not going with you. Anyway, we're not doing that today. Let's just do one last one. One last one. Urdhva danurasana, and then we start to slow down and you all go to work. Or whatever you do with your days. Looking after grandchildren. Elbows in, feet hip distance apart. Yeah. Feet in, Anne. It's great, but you've got to broaden the buttocks, otherwise it goes right into the spondy. Julie, amazing. Toes in. You didn't used to be able to do that. That's amazing. Go up, go up. Now, if I put this here, go up onto that block. Yes, look at that. Look how much that worked. Go up even more. Up, push it up. Yes, so she's up as well. Great. Hannah, go up. Straighten the elbows. Straighten the elbows, Hannah. Push away from the wall to straighten the elbows. Lift from here. Lift where that block is. Go up. Walk your feet in. Come onto your toes. Toes, hips up. Go up to where that block is. That's it. Now straighten the elbows. That's it. Now, keep that lift and now drop your heels down. Yes, where that block is. Yes, you're much higher. Can you feel how much higher you are now? That's where you need to go up. Exhale and come down, everyone. That was great, everyone. Fabulous. Yes. Can she get her chest to the wall? Yes. There we go. Yep. Okay. So the only thing you have to do then is resist this away from the wall. All right. And then you really get that lovely roundedness there. All right. Let's start to slow down, huh? So come into, I think we're going to go directly, take a belt, everyone. All right. Lie on your back. So this is another way of getting out of these poses. Have a block beside your right hip. Supta Padangusthasana. We start by releasing the hamstrings and the lower back. Feet to the wall. Take the block closely against the right hip. Feet to the wall, feet together. And then bend the right knee up. Reach the right heel bone away. Take the belt around your heel. So after back bends, the belt comes to the back of the heel bone and then up to the vertical. And press the right thigh strongly away from you. Hold the belt with both hands. Press the center thigh away from you. Just take the leg to the vertical. It doesn't go beyond after back bends. You're just wanting to bring the spine back to a sort of more of a neutral point. And then take the belt into your right hand. Extend the left arm out at shoulder height with the palm facing upwards and take the right leg out to the right. Let the hip rest on the block. It needs to be a held pose, more of a sort of supported pose. You're not gripping in the muscles to take the leg across and to hold the leg across. So that block needs to be really up against the right hip. Open up through the back of the legs, raise the right leg back to the vertical and release, and then take the block to the other side. Belt around the back of the heel bone. So more back of the heel bone than front of the heel bone, definitely not in step. Joe, just take the left leg back a little bit. It's hard to know when you're upside down, but take it closer to the wall. That's better. Yeah, yeah. I know lots of you can take the leg beyond. That's not where you're going. You're just releasing the back of the body. Really important to know how the counter poses work or which counter poses you're looking for, especially when you've done a strong practice. So you don't necessarily want to counter what you've done. You know, you want the body to absorb that, but you do want to bring the spine back to neutral at the end of a session. Take the belt into the left hand, extend the right arm out at shoulder height, and take the left leg out to the left. And raise the left leg up and release the left leg. So bend the knees now, place the feet on the floor, roll over onto your right side and come up. Come up to standing, take a block and take the block second width, so not narrow this way. Block comes between the thighs. And from here, you're going to fold forwards. So again, you're asking the block to broaden the back of the pelvis, to broaden the lower back. As you slowly release forwards, you know, make it slow. It's your first forward bend after the back bends. Lift the block with the legs. Fold forwards, hold on to the elbows and hang forwards. Just let the back completely release. Strong work through the back of the legs, lifting up through the back of the legs, releasing the torso down. And then bring the hands onto the hips. Inhale and come all the way up. You're going to set yourselves up for Shavasana with your calves on the seat of the chair and a blanket underneath your head. Put socks on, put extra layers on if you need to. You do get colder in Shavasana. You do lose heat very quickly in Shavasana. That's why it's so important to dress warmly in the winter for Shavasana. So calves on the seat of the chair, blanket underneath the head. You might want to put a blanket underneath you in general because the floor is cold. You've got sort of a good 5 minutes for Shavasana. Feet as wide as the chair, arms down beside you, palms facing up to the ceiling.